Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that should spark outrage: environmental disasters that have left lasting damage on our planet, but where the people responsible have never been held accountable. These are events that harmed the environment, impacted millions of lives, and yet, the ones at the top seem to have walked away unscathed. In this video, we'll explore the top 10 environmental disasters where the responsible parties never face justice. Let's jump right in. Number 1 on our list is the infamous Chernobyl disaster. In 1986, the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine experienced a catastrophic meltdown, releasing radioactive material into the environment that continues to affect the region to this day. The explosion caused immediate deaths, and thousands of others suffered from radiation sickness. While a few engineers were blamed for the accident, many argue that the Soviet government, which ignored safety protocols and failed to address the risks, was never fully held accountable. To this day, the environmental consequences linger, and the affected communities continue to bear the scars of this tragedy. Next, we move on to the BP Deepwater Horizon oil spill in 2010. This disaster in the Gulf of Mexico released millions of barrels of oil into the ocean, devastating marine life and ecosystems along the coastline. The spill also caused severe damage to local economies and affected the livelihoods of thousands of people. BP, the company responsible for the spill, was fined billions of dollars, but the long-term environmental damage continues to impact the region, and many argue that the company's executives and decision-makers escaped true accountability for their negligence. The incident sparked global outrage, but the environmental consequences are still being felt today. At number 3, we have the Minamata Bay disaster in Japan, which occurred in the 1950s. In this case, a chemical factory released toxic mercury waste into the bay, poisoning the water and the fish that local communities relied on for food. As a result, thousands of people were affected by mercury poisoning, suffering from neurological disorders and even death. Despite the widespread suffering, the company responsible, Chiso Corporation, never truly faced adequate punishment. It took years for the victims to receive compensation, and many feel that justice was never served. Number 4 on the list is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. This massive collection of plastic and other debris floating in the Pacific Ocean is one of the most visible signs of human negligence when it comes to environmental responsibility. Although various organizations have raised awareness about the patch and efforts have been made to clean it up, the companies responsible for the mass production of plastic and the lack of proper waste management systems have never been fully held accountable for creating this ecological nightmare. The patch continues to grow, and the oceans suffer as a result. At number 5, we have the Bhopal gas tragedy in India, which occurred in 1984. A gas leak from a pesticide plant released toxic chemicals into the air, killing thousands and causing lasting health issues for survivors. The Union Carbide Corporation, which owned the plant, faced minimal consequences for the disaster, and its executives were never brought to justice in India. The tragedy is considered one of the worst industrial accidents in history, yet many feel that the company responsible got away with murder, leaving the people of Bhopal to deal with the aftermath. Next, let's talk about the Amazon rainforest deforestation crisis. For decades, large corporations, illegal loggers, and agribusinesses have been responsible for the mass destruction of the Amazon, one of the most vital ecosystems on the planet. Despite international pressure and outrage, the governments and companies involved in this destruction rarely face the consequences of their actions. While there have been some efforts to stop deforestation, the Amazon continues to disappear at an alarming rate, and the corporations profiting from it continue to operate with little to no repercussions. At number 7, we have the Exxon Valdez oil spill in 1989. The Exxon Valdez, an oil tanker, struck a reef off the coast of Alaska, releasing millions of gallons of crude oil into the pristine waters of Prince William Sound. The spill caused massive environmental damage, killing wildlife and polluting the environment for years to come. Exxon, the company behind the spill, faced significant fines, but many argue that the true accountability for this disaster was never achieved. The long-term environmental consequences still affect the area, and the people responsible seem to have escaped real punishment. Number 8 brings us to the Aral Sea disaster. Once one of the largest lakes in the world, the Aral Sea has been slowly drying up due to mismanagement of water resources by the Soviet Union. In an attempt to divert water for cotton farming, the sea was effectively drained, causing a collapse of the local fishing industry and leaving behind a toxic, saline desert. The responsible parties, including Soviet planners and the governments of Central Asia, have never faced proper accountability for the environmental destruction caused by their actions. Ninth on the list is the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster in 2011. Following a massive earthquake and tsunami, the Fukushima nuclear plant in Japan was severely damaged, releasing radioactive material into the environment. Thousands of people were displaced, and the surrounding areas remain uninhabitable. Despite this massive environmental catastrophe, the companies involved in the plant's construction and operation, as well as the Japanese government, have faced limited consequences for their roles in the disaster. The effects of the radiation continue to impact the region, and many feel that justice has not been served. Finally, number 10 on our list is the Cuyahoga River fire in 1969. While it may seem hard to believe today, the Cuyahoga River in Cleveland, Ohio, caught fire multiple times in the 20th century due to the massive pollution and industrial waste dumped into the water. The fire in 1969 gained national attention and was one of the key events that sparked the environmental movement in the United States. While some measures have been taken to clean up the river, the industries responsible for polluting it were never fully held accountable for their actions. So there you have it, 10 environmental disasters where the responsible parties were never held accountable. From massive oil spills to nuclear meltdowns, these events have left lasting damage on the planet and countless communities, yet those responsible seem to have gotten away without facing real consequences. It's up to us to continue raising awareness, pushing for accountability, and ensuring that these kinds of disasters never happen again. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more eye-opening content. What environmental disaster do you think should be on this list? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.